This episode of The Rest is Football is powered by our new presenting partners, Fuse Energy. We're thrilled to welcome them to the team, especially outside the regular transfer window.
A new signing providing power and energy. That sounds like a bit of me back in the day, Gaz.
And reliable too, not one of those fair weather players who go missing in December.
Fuse will be powering The Rest is Football right through the season. They're one of the UK's fastest growing energy suppliers, building solar farms and helping homes make smarter choices. Power that performs throughout the season.
Fuse, keep everything running, lights on, meters smart, cars charged, a full squad you can count on.
And when you sign up for their fixed rates, your energy prices hold their shape, even as the nights turn colder and the title race heats up.
The season is long, but with Fuse, the energy never drops. For more information about energy that hits the top corner every time, head to fuseenergy.com/football. And if you fancy getting involved, sign up with the code FOOTBALL for the chance to get a shout out on the pod and throw your own question at us next time. Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer, Micah Richards in the back of a car, and me, Gary Lineker. We're recording this just after the Champions League matches on Wednesday evening. And Mike, I presume you're working for CBS. I know Alan did co-commentary last night with Liverpool's win with Amazon. So,
yeah,
how was your night, Micah?
Yeah, it was a good night actually. We integrated the Women's Champions League and the Men's Champions League together. So for 2 days, we've been dipping in and out both competitions, which was really cool. But if you can imagine, 9 pundits or
9.
Well, to be fair, 2 presenters and then seven pundits. It's a lot, but the girls who came over were outstanding. You know, the knowledge of the game, their enthusiasm was brilliant. It was just all round good couple of days after what was an amazing trip in Abu Dhabi.
Tell us how that night panned out after we left you, or you left us, I should say.
I got to sleep at 7:19 in the morning. On the dot. I stuck on The Rest is Politics podcast and I listened to that for about 20 minutes and fell asleep, listened to the rest of the morning. But I was just on cloud 9, guys. I'm rejuvenated now. I've got my energy back. I felt like I lost it for a couple of weeks, but I'm back now, guys.
How was our mate Skepta? How was he? Was he all right?
He was like, is that Gary and Alan? He was like a little kid. He even put it on his social media. The effect that you guys have on people. I just think you're 2 donuts, but, you know.
Well, we are 2 donuts, but...
2 old donuts as well, yeah.
2 old donuts, yeah. Let's start with the big one, Real Madrid versus Manchester City. Xabi Alonso under pressure going into the game. Manchester City needed a win, obviously, and they got it. Good performance. The Bernabeu was full of whistles at the end, which is their equivalent of booing. And I'm not sure whether the old Pañuelos Blancos, the white handkerchiefs, were being waved, but doesn't look good for Alonso at present. They're not a patient bunch in Madrid.
Well, you would know better than anyone, Gaz, in terms of what they do and how quick you have to get results there, or you know what's going to happen. I mean, it's probably worse there than anywhere, isn't it? Barcelona and Real Madrid?
Yeah, the expectancy levels are huge there. I mean, if you look at it overall, they're not doing too badly in the Champions League. They're in the top bunch. And also, they're second in the league. I mean, it's just, but it's all relative, obviously. And the expectancy levels at Real Madrid are really high. But I think they're really missing. And I mentioned it on the Rest is Football La Liga pod, that I did a thing in Madrid last week. And I was about the Hand of God game in '86. And I did part of it with Jorge Valdano. Used to be that, the great centre forward for Madrid and, of course, Argentina. And he was also, I'm not sure what his role was at the club, like director of football or even higher, I think, for quite a number of years. And he said, we didn't really miss Ronaldo. We didn't really miss Benzema. We didn't really miss, Gareth Bale. He said, but who we are missing is Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. He said because they just gave us control of football matches all the time. And he says at the moment that central midfield, that kind of pivot or double pivot, he said it's that they're not really controlling matches. And you can see that to a degree. And I think Xabi Alonso wanted Zubamendi in the summer, but the president didn't back him. But I imagine that the president won't be the one that gets the blame for the fact that, they've only won one game in the last 5 in La Liga, and now they've lost this big match as well. So there's a lot of pressure on him. There's a lot of talk that he might go by the end of the week. But it's the crazy world of football coaching.
What was it like, Micah? You would have saw it all. You would have saw most of the game, because I was flicking, obviously, with Newcastle game as well. So when I flicked on towards the end, Madrid were putting City under huge pressure.
Yeah, I thought in the first half it was pretty even.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though Man City are always liable for a counter-attack, which Real Madrid tried to expose that, especially in the second half. It was almost like one of those games where both teams wanted to win, or there was an away goal or whatever. It was like a basketball game at times. But the question I wanted to ask you, Gaz, and we were sort of speaking about it in the studio, you've been over there in Spain, and the successful managers there, someone like Zidane, who obviously won the Champions League 3 years on the trot. Then someone like Ancelotti, who those managers are supposed to be really good managers, so they manage players. And then coaches who have gone in there, say like Xabi Alonso now, at Leverkusen, is an outstanding coach. He was doing all sorts of different things, whether it was playing his wing-backs really high, his midfield, rotation, they would press at the right times. You could see a clear plan of what they wanted to do. But I feel like Real Madrid, it's just a different club where they're expected to win every single week, and it doesn't matter how you get it done, you just win. We bring the best players to Real Madrid, and you do that. Where Xavi's trying to coach, and the fans are not buying into what he's trying to do, which just left them, well, in fairness, they've only won 2 in the last 8 games, but just from someone who's been over there in Spain, knowing what Real Madrid and what their club expects, is it going to be too difficult for Alonso to coach like he wants to do?
Well, it depends how much time he gets, doesn't it? And as I said before, they're not particularly patient. The expectancy levels are incredibly high. I noticed when I went there, our press is pretty fierce, but it was more the off the field that you used to have to worry about than anything else, where they don't bother you with your off the field life, really. But actually, the focus on the football itself is so intense and so immense and so pressurized. They have daily papers in both Madrid and Barcelona that only cover that football club. So in Madrid, there's like Micah. In Barcelona, there's Sport and El Mundo Deportivo. And they're basically 50 pages on the club every single day. So you can imagine what it's like. It's like the pressure at a big club here times about 5. And it's been difficult for Alonso. And I think he's been caught between a rock and a hard place, because he's not playing the way he played with Leverkusen. And I think when he played at Leverkusen, he played 3 at the back. And as you said, he played his wing back super high, really high. And they had this way of playing. It was dynamic. But I think he's gone to Real Madrid and he's not really played that formation at all, only on occasions. And I wonder whether he's thinking, I can't really get away with playing 3 at the back, that sometimes will obviously be 5 at the back, with a team like Real Madrid, who most of the clubs that they'll play will sit back and sit deep. So I wonder whether I don't know.
He would know the expectations, though, wouldn't he, with him being there as a player?
Of course, he knows exactly what it takes.
He would know how it works there.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. He'll know, and I think he'll probably fear the worst at the moment. But for most teams, where they are and the season they've had is not too bad at the moment. But that's not the perception in Madrid. A lot of whistles, pitos at the end of the game, a lot of them, and that is their way of showing their dissatisfaction with the way that it's going. But it's hard to know unless you're on the inside. And obviously there's a lot of rumours that, some players are not accepting, the way it's going and stuff like that. You're dealing with big egos, you're dealing with big superstars. He's left big players out of certain games. Also, it's very fair, I think, and should be said that they've got a number of injuries, including Kylian Mbappe missed tonight's game. Bellingham was out for quite a time as well. Trent Alexander-Arnold has been missing for most of the season. So it's not been easy. And they're very short on fullbacks at the moment as well.
Yeah, Mendy's injured as well, isn't he? Mendy, yeah, Carvajal as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not been easy. But I don't think there's a lot of sympathy, and it's always the coach that gets the blame. I mean, that's the same in world football, but I mean, it's so much more difficult there because the success that they've had, obviously, they are one of, they're probably the biggest club in the world. And I hate to say that as a Barcelona person, but they are huge and they're so used to winning that, but a coach comes in and he needs time. I mean, come on. I think it's so early, but we'll see. We'll see if he survives.
Good result for City, though.
Brilliant.
Very good.
City are a strange team to watch at the moment because they're getting over the line. They conceded, what was it? I think they conceded 10 goals in the last 5 games. I know that game at Fulham where they conceded 4. But they're getting the job done offensively, but they still look very vulnerable defensively. Every time a team on the counter-attack, I've got a heart attack. It's just weird. There's so much space in the middle of the park, which, when you look at Pep's teams, have always been about control. And City at the moment don't have any control, but still getting over the line. So once they sort that bit out, then if you can go to Real Madrid, we all remember what happened last time when Mbappe got that hat-trick. I thought Doku was very good. Yeah. Again, he was lively, trying to make things happen. I thought Foden was quite quiet. He got a yellow card early doors, didn't he? I was surprised to see Haaland come off, but again, probably just a little bit of rotation in there. And then Nico O'Reilly gets his first Champions League goal. Yeah. And I just think he's been outstanding this season.
He's special talent, I think.
Yeah, but it's not just that. It's the fact that he's a midfielder playing left back.
I know. Just shows you how intelligent he must be.
Exactly that. And he's making a difference. So, yeah, it's all positive for City in terms of results. I think performances still need to become better if they're going to challenge for that Champions League and then push Arsenal all the way for the Premier League as well.
How far's Rodri off? Do we know? I mean,
I don't know. He keeps saying 1 week and then he's saying, a couple of weeks. Nobody actually... Well, the information I'm getting, I don't actually know.
I think he'll make a big difference if he can get a fit Rodri again.
Fit, yeah.
I mean, it's such a shame, that long injury, and then he's come back and he's had obviously problems trying to get fit again. But O'Reilly, has he got a chance to be England's left back in the World Cup?
I mean, if he keeps playing like the way he is now, yeah, and he played well for England in the last international meet-up. But they've got so many players in that position. I really like Hall at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think he started in midfield as well when they got him from it was Chelsea, wasn't it, Al?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. And I remember I was doing one of the games, and after the game said he's normally a midfielder, but to go out that left back, but he's so intelligent. And when he goes forward with conviction and has quality at the end of it as well. So I really like him. I think it's going to be competition for places, but it's good that, teams are playing well, certainly in the Champions League.
Yeah, it certainly was. Newcastle out, I mean, they 2-1 up with just a couple of minutes to go. They would have been in that top group, wouldn't they?
Yeah, conceding another goal late again, Gary. God, how many times has it happened? I mean, I thought they were really poor in the first half. And
played well in the second half.
No,
Two times they hit the inside of the post.
It did, yeah. Eddie must have got stuck into them at half-time because they were a different team in the second half. I thought they played really well. Lewis Miley coming on, getting his first ever Champions League goal. Yeah. And his night was ruined. I mean, it was looking so good. And 3 points, I think, would have put them in 6th, I think. something like that, 6th or 7th. So
I would say at the worst, though, Alan, they'll probably be in that middle block. And if they're in that, I mean, that which you'd probably take.
Absolutely, I think so,
it's hard. You would never thought they'd be in the bottom. But
I think it's just what could have been, when you're 2-1 up with 3 or 4 minutes to go and you concede again. I know they've got PSV, I think, in their next game, which is at home. So you would hope they could get a 3 points there. And then they got a really tough one the last year, which is PSG away. So they're going to have to stop conceding those late goals. It's really, really has cost them.
Yeah, I had that on my phone actually watching that one, and I was watching the Real Madrid. But it looked like Anthony Gordon was really impressive. I mean,
another goal, another assist, great ball in,
and very unlucky not to score as well when he hit the inside the post.
In the post, he had a great cross in for Miley's header for his goal as well. So he looks to be back to his best, Anthony Gordon. Yeah.
So where are Newcastle at now? Al, I know I always ask you every a couple of weeks and all that. I think Visser came on as well, didn't he? Late doors?
He came on at the weekend, obviously, and then came on again tonight, only for the last 4 or 5 minutes, just to see the game out, I think. So hopefully it's not too far away from him starting the game. If he can get another half an hour or an hour in sometime in the next week or two, then I don't think he'll be too far away from starting in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So that has to be a plus for Newcastle.
African nations,
no, he's not going away.
He's not going away.
He's not going away, which is a big, big plus for Newcastle.
Yeah,
which I think is the right decision because he's hard. Well, he's what did he have at the weekend? He had probably 20 minutes at the weekend, half an hour, and he's had only 5 minutes tonight. So I don't think that would have been a good look if he had just played those games and then gone off for another month or so next week. I don't think that would have been a good look. So I think that's the right decision.
He'll want to get playing and settled in as well, won't he? I mean, the African Cup of Nations is obviously hugely important, but if you've not played any football for months, it would have been a big ask to play in a major tournament as well.
No, exactly, yeah. And I think he's made the right decision.
They're looking pretty good, I would say. And I'll tell you, are looking very, very good. Arsenal.
Well, yeah.
I mean, 6 games, 6 wins, 17 goals, 1 conceded. And don't forget they're missing their 2 main central defenders, but Noni Madueke came in and I mean the two goals, 2 of the goals in that game. I mean, Madueke's first one and Martinelli's 2 absolutely wonderful finishes.
Before you guys go, can I ask you about that technique of that strike? Because he sort of took the shot, but I actually don't think he meant to do that. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's because of the height of where the ball went. So he didn't catch the ball cleanly. It was an amazing goal. I don't want to take anything away from him. And I think he had a brilliant match. And I really like him as a player and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not picking, but just the way he struck the ball, it looked like he didn't mean to do that.
Do you think it was a cross?
I just think that the technique was odd, like the way he was falling back and the ball.
I don't want to be disrespectful to him, but I don't think he meant it. Did you say?
What do you mean he didn't mean it?
Exactly. What do you mean he didn't mean it?
What happened was the ball got in a slightly awkward position, and I think he manipulated it to make sure that he kept it down, and that's why it looked. But I think that's what it was. But I mean, it was. I mean, what did he mean to do then?
I just think he hit the ball earlier than when the ball was coming across. Then that meant that the ball went up instead of like a bendy one. It went up and hit the bar. It was like a weird technique. But obviously,
whatever it was a bit special, I thought.
It was amazing. It was amazing, yeah.
As was Martinelli's as well in the second half. That was a brilliant strike as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, top corner as well. Two absolutely wonderful goals for them. I mean, it was a good result for them. I mean, Bruges can be tricky. They've caused a few teams problems, but they probably really needed something like that. After that defeat at Villa, if you get another defeat off the back of that, then people start, like us, start questioning them and stuff like that. But I mean, I think they look, anyone can lose at Villa, and the way they lost in the last minute, that sort of thing will happen. You're going to lose the odd game, but people are saying, are Arsenal starting to do? And I don't buy it. You're going to lose the odd game in the season. I think they're looking pretty damn good.
Definitely.
Personally.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's really important that when you get that bad result, which it wasn't necessarily a bad performance, just a bad result, you need to get back straight away and play and win a game like they have done. So I think that was an important result for them tonight.
And the squad's looking good, Micah, isn't it? I mean, to miss some of the players that they've missed, particularly, it's always hard when you miss your central defenders.
Yeah, definitely. But we've mentioned them a lot over the last couple of weeks with them being out. But it was nice to see Gabriel Jesus back, wasn't it? You've got Gyökeres back, Gabriel Jesus back. So you've got even more competition. If there's ever a time to push all the way, it's this year, because everyone's, okay, they've had injuries, but they've got enough quality to deal with their injuries. That is the difference. And that could be the difference at the end of the season. But
who have they got this weekend?
Ooh, good question.
They got Wolves at home.
Yes.
Saturday night.
Yeah, Wolves at home.
I might have to triple captain someone.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good shout.
If you ever wanted a game on the back of a defeat, a league game, then it's Wolves at home, isn't it?
Yeah, look away now, John. Producer John, look away now, Wolves fan. No, but they are looking good in both competitions at the moment, and they're going to take some stopping.
Yeah.
And Micah, is that your tummy rumbling there after a big couple of days in Abu Dhabi? I can hear.
No. They're now calling me Slim Meeks, not Big Meeks.
Slim Meeks, I can't wait to see you again. See what the old Slimline Meeks look like.
At least you haven't got those stupid glasses on you had on Sunday.
They're not bad either. They were special, those ones. Yeah, well, good stuff. Micah, we'll let you go. Where are you going, home or?
Yes, I'm heading back up to Harrogate tonight. So I'm due to get back at approximately 3 o'clock in the morning. So.
Ouch.
Dear. Well,
I know.
Well, close your eyes in the back of the car, make up for some of that lack of sleep you've got. Alan and myself will talk about Tuesday's games when we come back. We'll take a little breather.
This episode is brought to you by Barclays.
That's right, because this year they're celebrating 25 years of supporting football. And let me tell you, they truly have made a difference.
And don't forget, they ended up being the biggest ever commercial investors in UK women's sport when they started sponsoring the Barclays Women's Super League.
But it's not all about the big leagues, is it, lads? There's no football without grassroots football.
Well, that's right. I mean, we wouldn't have had the careers that we've had, guys. Not one of us, would they, without grassroots football. That's where it all started, the love of the game.
I went back to Ayleston Park Football Club, which is where I started to play, and all the lads were playing and the girls were playing all across everywhere, and it was so beautiful to see all these young people. One little lad came up to me, he must have been about 9 or 10, and he came over to me, he went, "My granddad used to play with you." Now that really is grassroots stuff. It's why Barclays has invested millions into grassroots programs and community initiatives to give opportunities in football to those who need it most. Search Barclays Football to find out more. Welcome back to the Rest is Football. Just Alan and me now. Let Micah go because he's been a busy boy. As were you yesterday, Al. You went to the San Siro.
Yep.
Obviously a huge game for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
If ever a manager or a team needed a result, it was probably Liverpool away into yesterday, and they found a way. They did all right.
Yeah, I thought they did well, yeah. They did the ugly side of the game really well, defended well, looked solid. Weren't too many errors at all. I mean, defensively, I think Liverpool of late have been all over the place. But that wasn't the case last night. I thought they did well, did what they had to do with the pressure that they were all under. No one more so than the manager because of the big call that he made. He needed a huge result. And they got a huge result. His players responded. They had VAR, goodness me.
Oh, don't get me started. I mean, to be honest, I thought it levelled it up in a way because I think the handball was ridiculous. If it had gone in from that, then we know the law. But, I mean, come on. Very soft penalty at the end, but I suppose it evened itself out.
But then it's playing different laws in different competitions. We had Mark Clattenburg come on saying that wouldn't have been given in the Premier League.
No, it wouldn't.
Slightly different laws, I guess, when you're playing European football. But the first one was really, really harsh, disallowing that, because there was no intent at all. Yeah, it was. I thought it was a poor decision. And then you're right. I mean, they evened it up with the. Because there's no way that for me that was a penalty. I know he's had a little tug on his shirt, but even Wirtz left it a second before he even went down from it, So, yeah, so much for maximum benefit, minimum interference and all that rubbish.
Yeah, well, I don't think that applies to European competition or indeed other places, but you need it, consistent across the board.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's consistently shit.
Yeah, it was. That's what it is, yeah. But Liverpool will not mind at all. They got the result they needed, and then they now have to look to Saturday to play Brighton. But I think you could feel the relief, you could sense the relief, and even in the interviews afterwards, and before, to be honest, because I thought Alisson spoke really well before the game when he said Mo's a friend of everyone, and particularly a friend of his, played together for so long. And then Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson and then Arne Slot came out at the end of the game and spoke about it. And you could tell there was huge relief from Liverpool, because that's exactly what they needed.
It is an irony of ironies, wasn't it, that they should win it right at the end from the penalty, which obviously Mo Salah normally takes, and Szoboszlai knocks it away.
Brilliant.
I've seen a run of his penalties now. He hits the same penalty every time, but he seems to be pretty fearless. I find it a little bit sad.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot of the footballing world are attacking Mo, and I understand why. I just hope his legacy's not sport here, and I think he's just got a bit emotional, and he got caught out the wrong time, having not been brought on. I wonder if he regrets it now. I saw him posted on Instagram of him just in the gym, totally on his own.
Yeah.
I hope they can find a way out of this. Maybe Mo can go, well, I'm sorry, I got a bit emotional. I shouldn't have done it, blah, blah, blah. That might sort it out. Otherwise, what they're going to do at the weekend now, I suspect he'll be out again, because he's got the African Cup of Nations. But if they can have kind of peace conference before he goes, kiss and make up, go away, play the African Cup of Nations, come back refreshed, reinvigorated, perhaps slightly apologetic, because it'd be awful if it ended kind of miserably after such a wonderful, 9 years? Yeah,
I guess, It would be, actually, because of he's a superstar and he's been amazing for Liverpool. And I'm not sure we know the full reason yet. Only he will know why he's come out and said it. And everyone's had their say, including us. And I guess the Liverpool fans and Arne Slot, I guess, particularly just wants to concentrate on his team, who he wants to pick. And, it's a big call from him. And when you make big calls, you need to back it up with results. And I said that the other day, didn't I? And that's a big result for him, because you can imagine the reaction. If Liverpool are beaten off Inter Milan after all that's gone on, then you just know the reaction, what's going to happen. So from the manager's point of view, that is a big, big result.
Yeah, it was. And, obviously the team got behind everyone.
Yeah.
You could tell that everyone felt a little bit down about it. I don't think the players probably feel disrespected by him. And I know a lot of people said that, but I think it was in the moment, a little bit emotionally, been left out a couple of times, on the bench, desperate to come on, probably when it went to 2-2. And then I think he's just snapped. We're human beings. And I think sometimes we forget that footballers are also human. And also sometimes we say, why don't they speak out a bit more? Well, that's why. That's why, because look what happens after it. But
I hope it's resolved. I really do, because
me too.
Probably the best thing, he goes away at the weekend and tries to do what he has to do for Egypt, and then see what happens in the meantime. But I think probably more importantly, as for the football club, which is the most important thing, then they had to win the game, and they did, and it was a good performance. So they've got to try and move on and take that forward, because there have been times this season where we've thought, okay, West Ham was one of them, Real Madrid at home was one of them, where you thought, okay, good result, here we go. And then all of a sudden it's gone flat again. They can't afford to have a poor result at Anfield on Saturday. They need to keep that performance up again.
What was it like in the San Siro? I mean, it's beautiful, that new San Siro, isn't it, since they did it up?
Well, they're knocking it down, aren't they? They're knocking it down
Are they?
in 12 or 18 months' time. I think they've got another year, I think. And then that one's going again, a slightly smaller one from what I heard. But it's got something brilliant about it, that stadium. It really has.
Who impressed you in the game?
I thought everyone put a shift in. I thought Szoboszlai was very good. A couple of substitutions. Bradley coming on, thought he did well. Wirtz come on, he did really well. Thought the midfield was pretty solid. I guess you'll be looking for a bit more from Alexander Isak. He got pushed off the ball a couple of times and he's nowhere near the player that we saw at Newcastle. I think they all put a shift in. I think they all deserve a bit of credit.
What do you think about the main two up top, really, weren't they, with Ekitike and Isak? And we don't see that too often. We've seen it with Real Madrid, funnily enough, this season. But Ekitike, I think, looked probably the more impressive of the two. He's a handful, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a really good player. There's no doubt he's got a big career ahead of him at Anfield. Thought he did well at times, held the ball up. Because of that new system, if that is going to be what they want to play, then it might take a little bit of time for them to get used to each other. There were once or twice yesterday when the ball was coming into the box and both of them were going short for the ball where one of them should have been in the box. But I guess if they keep on working on that, it'll get better. Because they haven't played that, so improvements to be made.
Yep, of course, improvements to be made probably for Chelsea at the moment. I was actually watching Goals Show on, and we also had the Liverpool game on the top. But Chelsea were obviously got in front early on. I mean, that's now 4 games. I think they've gone without a win. They haven't won since they beat Barcelona, where they were particularly good.
Yeah.
I think those guys, it's funny, I've spent all day in London moving around, and I think 2 cab drivers, both Chelsea fans, and both said pretty much the same thing. Why does he keep changing everything so much every game? Is that a valid criticism, do you think?
Well, I was actually on the plane back this morning from Milan to London. I was sat behind a Chelsea fan, and he had been to the game. And he said to me, "Were you doing the Liverpool game?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I was at the other one, Chelsea." He said, "Same thing again. Managers making far too many changes. Cost us again." And that was the thing the anger that he was thrown at Chelsea with going 1-0 up. I think they were, weren't they? And then conceding with the changes that they've made again. But he seems to be, he wants to do that, doesn't he, the manager?
Well, he did it. No, it's different because they were in one of the minor European competitions last season, and if you remember, he had a completely different squad. Mm-hmm. For one and the other. Now, you can't do that in the Champions League, but I still think he wants to try and keep players fresh, leaving them out. He left Reece James out, didn't he, at the weekend, brought him back for this one.
Yeah.
But I think when you mess around, perhaps with the back four a lot in particular,
I
think you lose a little bit of that stability.
Correct.
And perhaps...
I think so.
Yeah, regularity.
We said that maybe a week or 2 weeks ago with when he made all those changes defensively. I think if there's one part of the team that you need to keep stable, then it's defensively. I think that's one of the issues. But football is mad, isn't it? You put that performance in against Barcelona, and everyone's waxing lyrical about, and rightly so, about Chelsea and the performance, and are they going to do this? Are they going to? And then they haven't won since. It's just balmy.
That's what we said. But you're eulogising someone. You say, "Oh, what an amazing tactical performance! He saw it, he was spot on. He got everything out." 3-4 weeks later, everyone's going, "He's useless. He makes too many changes."
It's mad. We were all saying about the changes that night, how he got it right and playing Neto down the middle because of his pace, and they got the tactics right with a high line, and there's a Chelsea fan on this morning next to me saying he makes far too many changes and he got it all wrong again, and we conceded too many goals. It's mad. Yeah, you make too many changes unless you win. Yeah, that's it. If you win, that's all that matters, isn't it? It really is. And the win was important for Spurs as well. Mm-hmm. They've had a good week. They got the draw at your place, St James's Park. Then they beat Brentford, obviously his former club. Yeah. And now a comfortable victory, which you would expect against Slavia Prague, but nevertheless, you've still got to do it. Yeah. And they did it pretty comfortably. I watched quite a bit of that game as well. And they looked, it was pretty comfortable. They were pretty dominant in the game. Well, obviously not the biggest test in the world, but You've got to go out and do it because, those are the games sometimes you can slip up, and you know what the home form's been like. I know they won against Brentford, but they got to go out and do it, and they did it, and it was a really good result for them.
Yeah, it was. Two of the big dogs in the tournament, Bayern Munich and Barcelona, both came from behind. Barcelona always come from behind. It seems to be what they do. And they concede early, but it's actually Rashford coming on at half-time that turned it. He again is rotating, mainly with the front players. They've got some talent up there.
Got some options there, haven't they?
They've got great options. Marcus came on and almost immediately hit a beautiful cross, and they got themselves back in the game. And likewise, Bayern were 1 down, and they actually managed to win 3-1 without a goal from Harry Kane as well.
No goal from Harry Kane,
But
wow.
Lennart Karl scored again. That's 3 on the bounce. I think the youngest player to do that.
Yeah.
He's not the first famous Karl that's played for Bayern Munich. You remember the other one?
Karl-Heinz?
Yes, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge.
Yep.
He was pretty good. I think he went on the board. He was one of the main people there, wasn't he, for donkey's years as well. So let's talk about Mason Greenwood. Done brilliantly since. Obviously, we know there's a lot of controversy around him, and he had that awfulness of his situation. He's gone abroad, but he's performing as he did last season. But this season at Marseille, he's performing really well. Got another 2 goals yesterday. Excellent finishes. And I think he's decided, hasn't he, that he's not going to try and play for England. I think he's going to play for Jamaica, which is another option for him. I think that possibly makes sense. It would be difficult for him here, wouldn't it?
I think it was the right decision for him to go to another country, and he had to settle down, and he had to go out and just try and play football.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone ever questioned his ability, did they? I think
he's an unbelievably talented
He was
player.
a very good footballer with a lot of talent. I think we all knew that.
Yeah, we certainly did. Before we go, Alan, what are you wearing there?
I've got my ASF Alan Shearer Foundation top. I think we're gonna launch this today, and hoodies, different colours, are all coming out from my foundation. So, and however many we sell, or if we sell any, then there's a certain amount goes to the foundation to help keep it running.
And how do people order them? This is a great place to plug it.
You can do it online just before. Hopefully, we'll get a big batch delivered before Christmas, so we can send them out to people if they want them. So yeah, all out. They'll all be out when this comes out today. So
perfect Christmas present. Get your orders in.
Yep.
Get your orders in, everybody. Great cause.
Thank you.
Okay, let's call it a day. We'll be back with our normal episode on Monday. Another big weekend of Premier League football lies ahead.
The reaction to Erling Haaland interview was very good, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, actually forgot to mention that. Yeah, very positive. I mean,
really positive.
I think he came over really well. And he just seems like a really good, level guy. And he's got his feet on the ground. And
really respectful, really impressive. Absolutely, yeah. He's very, very sensible, and I love his attitude. I think his attitude is amazing, and I really, really enjoyed sitting down with him, actually.
Absolutely the same, and he stuck his penalty away well tonight.
He did.
It turned out to be the winning goal. Okay, goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.